Good morning. It's August 23rd. I'm Joe Denoya, and I'm here to talk about a book, it's a kid's book, that's written by a new author. It's always lovely to find new authors that are out there, but this came to my attention. Um, this is a man who actually was born in the islands in Grenada and eventually moved out and came to New Jersey working in the financial industry. However, some people have hobbies and crafts on the side, and one of his was writing children's books. So the first one got published recently. It's right here. It's called The Burping Pumpkin. Sorry, as my technology washes out for a second, but there it is. Author's name is Steph Alexis. And this is a simple story where you have children who live in a small town of Berryville on the bottom of a mountain are told by their mother, go out and pick some strawberries, and I'll make you a strawberry pie tonight. But do me a favor, do not go past the weeping willow, because then you'll be going up the mountain higher, and there's a big old giant that lives up there. And let's not forget, giants are meant to be afraid of. But the kids go out there and they obviously find a way to go beyond the willow. And as they go further and further up the mountain, they realize that the strawberries they're finding are larger and larger than the ones they've seen lower in the mountain. So they start eating these strawberries as they're picking them up. And of course, their pails are getting heavier and heavier, and they're getting fuller and fuller. And they finally get to a point where they're just tired. So, like a lot of these children's fairy tale stories, they decide to take a nap right where they are. Well, while they're napping so high up the mountain, of course, the giant's going to come by. And he's trying to pick up his own fruits and vegetables along the way. But as a giant goes stomp, stomp, stomping along, they wake up, they get frightened, jump into a pumpkin that's got a hole in the side, hoping that they'll just wait out the giant. And then they'll leave in their fright and go home. But of course, the giant sees the big pumpkin, picks it up, throws it in his sack. Now the kids feel that they're being absconded with while they're inside the pumpkin, which is inside the sack. They got to do something. And they're so full right now, they feel like they got to burp. So they decide, listen, let's burp real loud. It'll echo around inside this pumpkin, and maybe it'll scare the giant, which of course it does, who drops the sack, and the pumpkin goes rolling, rolling out of the sack, and all the way down and brings them home. The end. Obviously, there's a lot more better details in the story. You got to read it one day to your children or child, and it'll be very enjoyable. Now, one thing I do admire that Steve Alexis has done in this book too is at the end of it, because the villagers were all trying to find out where the kids are, they're ready to go up the mountain, even though they were afraid to go find them. They were all there when the pumpkin came rolling back. And then once it's split open and the kids spill out, they now have all this pumpkin. They decide to have a feast, and everyone's making pumpkin pies and strawberry pies and everything else. And all the villagers gather around and they dance and they sing, happy the kids are back and happy they have pumpkin now. There's actually songs in the back of the book. Now you can probably come up with your own music and your own tunes to sing these songs with your kids. Maybe they'll bump into it, get into it. But it actually leaves it open ended. It asks the question, hey children, what kind of song do you think that you can come up with? So it's very good that it sparks the imagination of children, and maybe they can create their own lyrics the way kids do and put it to song. So it's actually a nice little addition to books that I've seen for my kids before. One more thing that happens is even after that, there's almost like a questions page. There's about 10 or 12 questions at the back that go very simple from what was the name of the town to what lesson do you think that the kids learned. So it actually gives you a little Q&A with your child. It might actually assist with children's retention of a story you just read to them. Even one that's only so many pages with so many words, it'll get their mind to start remembering things that just happened. And if a kid starts remembering a book they just heard, they might keep that in mind the next time they have a book that either they read or is read to them. And the more they retain, the more intelligent they will become. So it's a nice addition. It seems like a little almost nonsense add-on, but it's really meaningful. So I did like the fact. So again, this is the Burping Pumpkin. I'll write this down in the comment. It's written by Steph Alexis and illustrated by Mariya Stoyanova. So hopefully you can find more from these people and get more. I believe that there's 2 more books coming according to the back. Watch out for The Magic Basketball and The Adventures of Zachary the Zebra. Zachary the Zebra. So hopefully we'll see those soon. There it is. The Burping Pumpkin. Okay, enjoy.